Hey, wake up. Come on, Angel. This is the 5th time you've snoozed your alarm and you have to get up now. Especially now that your alarm has waken me up 2 hours earlier than I needed to be. Come on now. Ugh, okay, fine, Angel says. I just don't understand why Angel can't seem to get it together and get herself up first thing when her alarm goes off. I don't get what her problem is. Does this sound familiar to any of you? Dragging yourself to get up in the morning, or better yet, feeling like you're dragging yourself throughout the day, like you're 10 feet behind yourself, or feeling like you're pushing yourself up a steep hill continually? Welcome to Alder Roots, Digging Deep. I'm your host, Shelley Carter, founder, practitioner, teacher, speaker, and storyteller of Alder Healing Center in Lombard. If any of you can say yes to the above or know anyone who struggles getting through their day, this program may be for you. Discussions will vary from detoxes, cleanses, herbs, nutrition, spirituality, plant medicine, and yes, a whole lot more. When I bring up plant medicine, what does that conjure up for you? I would imagine there's many thoughts. So feel free to email me or instant message me on Facebook, and I'll bring your questions and thoughts to our next program. The most pressing question I get from clients and people that I meet is, how in the world did I come up with my business name, Alder Healing Center? So here we go. Once upon a time, I was commissioned to change my business name. You see, it was different from what it is today. I began thinking, if I'm going to do that, what would it be? Couldn't think of a darn thing. Couldn't think of anything. Over much prayer, time, meditation, and fasting, I woke up one day and heard, go to the Arboretum. The name of your business will be there. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, this is strange. And I said, okay. I've learned to listen to those voices. They've served me very well. I called up 6 of my closest friends and said, come on with me. We're going to find the new name of my business. And I hear it's at the Arboretum. As you can imagine, all I heard was chuckles and what? We're going to do what? It was a cool and yet sunny Saturday morning in the middle of the fall season, which fall is my favorite season of the year. All 6 of us gathered into a minivan and off to the Arboretum we went. Well, Shelley, there's so many varieties of trees out there. How will you know which one is yours? I'm not sure. I know I'll see it when I see it. Now, after driving for about 20 minutes, I yelled, stop! Stop, my tree's right there. So we all get out of the car and walk over to the area I felt led. And the tree I came to is called the alder tree. I thought, that's interesting. This tree has 3 fruits with 3 leaves coming off a little stem with 3 good-sized branches splitting off the large trunk. I'm like, I like this tree. It does things in threes like I do. At that moment, I jumped up and down with joy and wrote it down and thought, well, when I get home, I'll do research on the tree. I'm so excited to get home to see what I've been blessed with. Folks, what I found in my research moved me to tears, the synchronicity of the meaning of the tree and that the parts of the tree are actually used for medicine. So let me take a moment and read this to you. So the alder tree is part of the birch family. I might not be saying this right, but it's part, the Latin name is Alnus glutoneus. The medical uses of the alder tree, the bark is alterative. It's an astringent, cathartic, a febrifuge, and a tonic, which means it addresses parasites and worms. The fresh bark will cause vomiting, so please don't eat it fresh. So use dried bark for all but emetic purposes. A decantation of this dry bark is used to bathe swellings like edema, inflammations. It's really great for mouth ulcers and the throat, like when you have a sore throat. The powdered bark and leaves have been used as internal astringent and tonic as well. The bark has also been used as an internal and external hemostatic against hemorrhaging. The dried bark of young twigs are used, or the inner bark of branches 2 to 3 years old. It is harvested in the spring and dried for later use. Boiling the inner bark in vinegar produces a useful mouthwash and treats lice and a range of skin problems such as scabies and scabs. The liquid can also be used as tooth wash. The leaves are astringent and the vermifuge. Again, that's with parasites and worms. They are used to help reduce breast engorgement in nursing mothers. A decantation of the leaves is used in folk remedies for treating cancer of the breast, duodenum ulcers, esophageal issues, face pylorus, pancreas, rectum, throat, tongue, and uterus. The leaves are harvested in the summer and used fresh. So the alder tree is very connected to, it's also known as a Celtic tree. So there's a lot of myth and lore associated to it. And it has kind of like a astrological chart, like they do with the trees, like astrology would for the stars. So the tree, I will say, is its strongest March 18th through April 14th. Its magical properties are the alder helps you face up to the things you've been avoiding. Like, would that be any of you guys out there? It also was believed that alder allows access to the fairy realms. Alder tree's essence is invigorating and also reduces nervousness and anxiety. I actually found there's the company's the Tree Frog Farm, which I think the name is interesting. They have a flower essence called red alder tree, which actually helps strengthen the uterus and helps with any sexual trauma or trauma that has happened to the your root and sacral chakras or your pelvic area. It can also aid in your business and academic ventures. Work well at this time of year. Sow the seeds of your success now, because all we have right now is now. Alder roots enrich the soil and its timber resists decay. So people who are dealing with any kind of fungal issues or their body's damp inside, which would be based on traditional Chinese medicine, the alder bark would be really great for that. When immersed in water, it hardens to the toughest of stone. So over in Ireland, they actually use the alder tree to make bridges out of because it becomes stronger than any metal alloy the longer it's in the water. Imagine that. Because it was the source of the fine, strongly colored dyes, it was associated with the art of fabric making and the goddess of spinning. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a master seamstress and I love working with fabrics and dyes and colors and things like that. So I thought it's really interesting. So when the tree's fresh and you peel back the bark, it's white underneath, but when you peel it off, it bleeds like a blood red color, which is what they would use to make the dyes with. The alder month is the right time to find a way of expressing our hopes, our dreams for the new year, forgiving any leftover angers, and coming to terms with what's written in our own book of destiny. The alder grows quickly and its energy can help us move along our path, forgiving and accepting others and ourselves. Now, one of the other things that I've known since I came up with this name is the alder tree is also kin to bear and elk and the medicine woman. For those of you who don't know, my native name is White Bear Running Water. Another story on another day. And I'm also a water sign. And those of you who know me would probably call me a medicine woman, or at least that's what I would be back in tribe. This week, take a moment to pay attention to everything. Everything matters. Listen to how God and how the elements of the universe speaks to you. Consider how this relates to where you are in your life journey. Is there something you need to move forward in and just take action on? Or are there things you need to take a step back and do some reflection? This is the best gift ever. Thank you for joining me at Alder Roots Digging Deep.